that ass and drop it low. Shake 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 that ass and drop it low.
What's up? It's Peep'n ToM here, coming at you with this badass tutorial on how to make Dutchy vocally lead sounds. So here's a playthrough of the tune that I made that myself and my homie Tycho made that yeah, that you can hear what it sounds like in it.
Shake that ass and drop it low.
So that's the sound of it. It's pretty simple to make. It's made popular by like Joe Fletcher and J Trick and shit like that. It's definitely dope as shit in the club. There's always it brings like a mad party vibe. That's why I like making it. I always focus my music on how it sounds in like the club and how people react to it, not just how it sounds in like a bedroom or some shit. So pretty simple, easy to make. This is a dope track that me and myself and Tycho made with DJ Rihanna. She did a cover of TJR's Juke It by with Gatman. This is a super duper tight song. Crazy sick lyrics. There's all like sorts of sexual shit going on, and it's awesome. Check out our remix. We did a video of it. We didn't make the video. We just took the parts from some other video and put our song on top of it. But check it out. There's lots of titties and stuff, so the description should be somewhere in this video. Okay, but let's show you how to make that sound. So what I did was I listened to, you got to find the right vocal to use, because there's a whole bunch of, without the right vocal it just doesn't work. So we had all of her vocals here.
Threesome with my friends. Now let's get on this floor and back up the thing.
That was one of the vocals. I think I ended up using
drop it low.
So you want something that kind of, she says like right before, whoever's singing, what they're gonna say before the drop, and you want it to, you have to test it out with a bunch of fucking different samples to find out the right one. Because I used a couple and they just weren't fucking working in there. So what I did, and Ableton, you can probably do this in others, in other what do you call it, DWAs or DAWs or whatever. So you get a sampler in Ableton, and then what I did is I used this drop it low thing. So I'd select it, copy it, just put it into another audio track, paste it, then crop it, because you don't want the whole fucking song going on there. Then what you do, I'll make it from the start. Here, I'll put this in. I'll start a new MIDI track just to show you how it's done. So sampler. Where are we at here? Or simpler. It's simpler, not sampler. It is a sampler, but it's called simpler. I don't know why. So you drop that in there. Now your track, now your sound is just playing, and you can play it on the keyboard, your MIDI keyboard. What I like to do is it always starts at -12. It's fucking low. So you start right there. Find the exact position where you want it to start. Sounds like a pretty good position. Yeah, you want to find a good place to start, because some places just sound shittier than others. Then what do I do? You put a little bit of spread on there. I usually leave that spread, widens it out. I usually either do that or do that other trick that I showed in another video, where you duplicate the track and pan it left and right and split, increase the what do you call it? The milliseconds between each track. But you don't have to do that here. So that's basically how you do it. You just put it in a sampler. Then you gotta program the right, like, obviously notes to make it sound tight. I threw in what is this, auto tune over the main tracks, just so and I put it on really low frequency, like over, where did I put it? Or maybe I didn't even put it on this one. Usually I'd put it on there, but I didn't, I guess. I took it off. I put in for this one. So I cut off the lows and I boosted up the highs around like 7,000 or 8,000. Threw a compressor on there just to it's like as you can see, it has lots of effect on like the loudness of the whole sound. So instead of it having, see if you look at the wave, it like goes up and down over here. It's just pretty much bringing all these low peaks like up. Simple delay on it, super easy. You can just fiddle around with your own settings. I don't put a lot on because you don't want it to, you don't want to have like a bunch of it conflicting with all these other notes. Reverb also is important because it gives it like a wider range, a wider sound. Yeah, you can just copy these things. I just threw this in and fiddled around with knobs until I found the right thing, and it gives it a good overall like depth to the sound. Then what I do here, yeah, just a compressor here on top of that, and this I think was using just for filtering in and out. But what I also did is I sent it to my sends, which is this is send to. So I had a long reverb. This is like a Vespers one, his chain. I fiddled around with it because without it, it sounds like, or if we just solo this, it's really low. All the lows are cut off. You can barely hear it, but it adds like a thick, lower, like eerie sound to the sound basically. So other than that, like it's pretty easy to do this, but then fucking putting your notes in is way harder. Like you think it's easy to just be like, oh look, sweet, I got this sweet thing, but really you have to come try to find like the pattern of notes that were like. And also I've been looking for, I know Ableton doesn't do this, and I know I was looking to test out another couple samplers that like as you move up the keyboard, it clearly gets faster. So like there's other samplers that keep the sounds stretched out, and then they how do I explain it? They keep it stretched out, but they're still like they still sound like the original like key or like word. So I don't know. I haven't found one that's good like that. If you guys have any suggestions, hit me up and let me know. But that's another thing. Then also what you do is when you go in here to each of the things. So these are the notes, and you go over here to your envelopes, and this is your. I just modulate the pitch. So this one had a different pitch. This one had the same thing. This had more. I believe this one had a pitch bend even more. So that's super easy to do. You just highlight pitch bend over here and fuck around with it. I find in Ableton too that like the pitch, if we listen to this, it's still pretty shitty. Like I would rather have like a long drawn out like and like have it long and fucking coming out, but it's really difficult to do that in Ableton, I find, from my experiences. So like you can try a bunch of shit out, and like here was the original lead we had, and it sounded like garbage. I mean, that sounds like significantly shittier than this, especially in the song. Sounds okay, like I guess it kind of sounds like Will Sparks or something like that, but it's not as fast and cool as I'd like it to be. So I fucking remade it with this fucking dope ass one. Yeah, I think that's everything. You can also throw, yeah, I forgot to say so I threw a chorus. Usually I throw a chorus on most of them, and that really spiked it up a bit. I still could have sworn I put a wow filter on here. No. I learned this in another track. You can put a wow filter on here, where I'll show you this too. This is pretty cool. You go put a wow on there. There's a wow filter, and put it onto band reject. Put follow envelope. Crank the resonance all the way up. And then fiddle around with it, and it gives it like a way cooler sound. I chose not to use it in this song, but I do use that shit in other songs. In another one I just made that I put that filter on it. I think it's a really good technique. I just figured it out. I found it on like some forum I was reading, and I tried it out, and it sounded pretty dope. So that's pretty much it. Check out the rest of our tune. Check out the video tune right there. Subscribe to all my shit. If you got any questions, hit me up at Peep'n ToM Beats, or just Peep This official at gmail.com. What else? yeah, we got a bunch of sweet new tunes coming up. Definitely go download this, share it with your friends. It's a dope party tune. This part's fucking sweet as well. Yeah. Peace, bitches.
Shake that ass and drop it low. Make them cheese touch the flow. I ain't gotta be a hoe that you could